a type of media that's made with AI that can alter or replace someone's likeness with another. That could be a photo, it could be a audio or video. With the increasing use of AI, I think many of us have seen a deepfake at some point, something that might make someone look older or younger. There are a lot of apps focused on doing that now. A clip of someone saying something that they never said.
We know that it's had an impact already in our political world, and we've got to, you've seen and I've seen what look very realistic of politicians who have been making speeches, and then you look at it a little bit closer and you say, wait a minute, that just does not look right. And did this person really say that?
It's a current issue in my state right now. In fact, AI was used to create pornography of a Washington State high school student that was then circulated throughout the school, and local police said they were investigating, but it's unclear if Washington State's laws apply in this case, given it was written without AI in mind.
It's difficult often to differentiate between what is real and what is created by artificial intelligence. I'm excited about artificial intelligence, and I think we should be. There's going to be a lot of benefits to it, but there's also going to be a lot of negatives to it that we've got to be careful about, and deepfake is certainly one of them.
We need to put guardrails in place, and there are a lot of places we can start. First of all, AI relies on huge amounts of data. We also need to know that there's going to continue to be new innovations and new tools, and Congress needs to make sure that we're kind of keeping up with policy. But things like privacy, we haven't even done basic privacy protections across the country. So we've got to start taking actions.
AI is the buzzword in Washington, D.C. right now. In fact, this past week, we had our third hearing in the Energy and Commerce, Communications and Technology Subcommittee that I'm vice chair of. We had our third hearing on this. We've got to make sure that these platforms are utilizing it in the right way, and it's not being misused and mishandled.
There's no national law to protect Americans from this type of content. Many states have laws regarding harassment online or the disclosure of intimate images, but we're about to see if courts are going to interpret these state laws in ways that apply to AI-generated content, and they're going to have to interpret that because the laws don't explicitly talk about AI-generated content. It's another example how technology is moving faster than policy in a lot of cases, and clearly we need to look at it from a federal level too to make sure that we are keeping policy up to date, and to make sure that we're holding folks accountable for creating and distributing content that violates people's privacy.
The short answer to that, the direct answer is no, they don't. They're understaffed. They don't have the resources that they need. This is an area where you've got to have an expertise, and you got to know what you're looking for, and you've got to make sure that people are trained in this area. We, in law enforcement, we don't have the resources available. We don't have the manpower available, much less the resources. So that's something that we're very concerned about.
I know that legislation is going to be critically important. A colleague of mine, Congresswoman Yvette Clarke from New York, has introduced a bill that would require disclosure. If AI is used in campaign ads, that's transparency, and that transparency is critically important, and that would be an important place to start. The unofficial creation of content to spread disinformation is obviously tougher. We've
already experienced it in the last presidential election. We know that foreign adversaries have utilized this in order to sway elections, and that's why they're doing it, to sway the elections. It's not easy. You could throw endless amounts of money at it and still not always get it right. So it's very, very difficult.
Artistic expression is protected under the First Amendment, but deliberately trying to misrepresent something as fact when it's not is not protected. So when you go to a movie, you know that you might be seeing something that is fictional, or you might know you're seeing a documentary, but there are clear distinctions that really make sure that people aren't deceived about thinking that a superhero is actually a fact. So there needs to be the same kind of balance for deepfakes and other content created with AI. And again, an important policy that we need to look towards to make sure that we are creating that transparency so that people are aware of the information and where that information or that content might have come from or how it was created.
All of us want freedom of speech. All of us believe in that. But at the same time, you got to be very, very careful about this. We've got a responsibility to protect the public from this deep fake technology that's getting better and better and better and having more and more of an influence on the electorate. And most people now are getting their information, are getting their news from the internet. And it's difficult to regulate that. It's difficult to make sure that they're getting accurate information.